Welcome back. While going to law school, our next guest spent a month sleeping in the back of an old SUV, and the challenges he faced have fueled a desire to make things better for current students. And let's welcome Sean Elo, who's working for the nonprofit Mid-City Community Advocacy Network while running for a seat on the San Diego Community College Board. And thanks for joining us today. Thanks on your campaign platform is increasing the supply of housing. We know that, boosting wages and stabilizing rents, things that you went through at that time.
Right.
What do you have in mind to make that happen?
Yeah, first, thank you for having me on about this race, because one of the goals was to make sure that more folks are thinking about community colleges and education in general. So yeah, in terms of our platform, free tuition, making sure that we have more full-time professors, but then also addressing the cost of living issues that are impacting students and professors. Everyone in San Diego is being hit by these cost of living issues, and housing is an important one. And the experience that you mentioned, my experience of having to try to go to school and make it through law school while living in the backseat of an Explorer is not a situation unique to myself. I think that was the real takeaway from that experience, is how close I was to being derailed from my goals and reaching my potential. That's really my passion in life, is making sure that folks have a chance to be all that they can end up being in life. And so yeah, I think that we can, as a community college district, not necessarily solve all the problems that are going on in San Diego, but we can address a lot of them, or help make sure that the students and professors are being advocated for to the bodies of government that can address those issues. And yes, housing, transportation, food, healthcare, even childcare, these are things that without those basic essentials of life, you're not going to perform at your best as a student.
How many students are we talking about? Professors, even staff?
Yeah, so over 100,000 students in San Diego Community College District, believe it or not. It's California's second biggest community college district. And so the footprint of impact that this district has on San Diego is quite large. And that's why, like I said, I was so glad to have an opportunity to speak to you. But the reason that we've gone to thousands of doors to have conversations about this race, we're really, really excited to have an opportunity to elevate this issue and let more people know how important the community college district is to San Diego.
When you talk about affordable housing, the health care, the transportation, and food, where do you go and knock on doors? Is housing and urban development, federal and state programs being helpful?
Right. So I think that one of the models that we've seen work elsewhere is community college districts partnering with nonprofit developers to lease their land to the developers so that they can build the housing supply. And this would not just benefit the students in San Diego, but benefit everyone overall, because as you and I both know, one of the issues with housing is just a lack of supply. We need to build more houses, and the community college district could play a role in that by, again, leasing their land to nonprofit developers who would then build up that supply and manage it as well, because the community college district is there to educate, not necessarily run a housing program, but they can work hand in hand with those that do a good job of providing those services.
To what extent can you turn that around, the idea that yes, they're there to educate, but they need to start thinking about how they go about getting the students, the staff, and the faculty in a better position to take advantage of what is there for them?
Well, I think that the first thing to acknowledge is that the board is already doing a good job.
Okay.
I don't want to make it sound like they're not trying. What I do think that we can do, though, is do a little bit more to reach students where they're at. So in my day job, I work with community to create policy changes based on exactly what the community needs. And I think a great example that I like to use is the food bank at San Diego City College. So they've got a room there. It's a beautiful program. The idea was spawned by students. But most of the students don't know that they have a food pantry on campus, and so there's still many students that are hungry. So how can we bring that up, literally from the basement of the campus, up into a place where everyone knows that it's there and that they can access it? So again, this isn't even providing new services necessarily. It's making sure that the services are accessible and can really be reached by as many students and faculty as possible.
What are you hearing from the discussions with students, faculty, and staff when you go to forums and let's just say candidates debate as well? You picking up things there?
Yeah. So the inspiration for this campaign started in the classrooms in 2016. I was registering community college students to vote, and we had dozens of conversations about what they need, what they want, their goals for the future, and the platform is literally built off those conversations with those students and the professors I got to meet during that time. And it's really actually been quite a beautiful thing, because those conversations and that platform that we built is what we've taken out to the community when we're canvassing, to Democratic clubs when we've had endorsement votes. And I think it's part of the reason why Democratic clubs have been so responsive to the message, because they know it comes from the community. So we've actually been the only candidate endorsed by Democratic clubs such as the Democratic Women's Club of San Diego, Democrats for Equality, the Progressive Democrats. They've all endorsed us, and I think they're really responding to this platform built on conversations with students.
Very quickly now, what's your level of optimism that if you are in fact elected at the end of your term, things will have, the outcome will be as you'd hoped?
Oh, I'm very optimistic, and I'm an optimistic person in general, but I would say that the San Diego City Community College is on the doorstep of being able to provide free community college for everyone. And I really think that these other issues that we're talking about are things that we can get done, and because so much effort's already being applied there, it's just a little bit of a change in terms of the direction, and again, speaking more with community college students, making sure that we're on the ground, listening to what they need. So we can do these things.
Sean Elo, thanks for joining us today. Still ahead,